All right, everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going deep on something that's super important for anyone who works with cranes or wants to in the future.
Absolutely.
We're diving into crane load handling and the operating practices that go along with that.
You got it.
And I'm really excited about this one because, when you think about it, you see these massive cranes lifting insanely heavy stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But how do they know how much is too much? Like, where's that line?
That's where this amazing document, Crane Load Handling Operating Practices, comes in.
Perfect title.
It lays out everything nice and clear.
And it's not just for the operators themselves, but for anyone involved in the process, right? Like the safety managers and all that.
Definitely. It's about keeping everyone safe and informed.
So let's start with the most basic question then. How do operators know when they're pushing a crane too far?
Well, the first thing any operator learns is to live and die by the load rating chart.
The load rating chart.
That's right. It's basically the Bible for crane operation.
Gotcha. So what's in this Bible then?
It tells you exactly how much weight the crane can handle at different boom angles and extensions.
So like if the boom's all the way out, it can handle less weight.
Exactly. You start extending that boom and the capacity goes down.
Makes sense. Yeah, and I'm guessing ignoring that chart is a big no-no.
It's not a suggestion. It's a hard limit.
Right, because if you ignore it,
we're talking about serious consequences. Damaged equipment injuries, even fatalities.
not good.
Not good at all. There was this one case I remember where a crane was lifting a huge section of a bridge.
Oh, well.
They underestimated the weight and boom, the crane buckled the load, came crashing down, and a bunch of workers got hurt.
Man, that's a scary thought.
It's a stark reminder of why those rules are there. It's about people's lives.
Exactly. And speaking of things that can go wrong, the document also talks about something called liftoff.
Ah, yes, liftoff.
And it sounds kind of terrifying, to be honest.
It's not a good sign.
So what is liftoff exactly?
Liftoff happens when one of the crane's outriggers or crawlers starts lifting off the ground during a lift.
Oh, wow.
It means you're overloading the crane and it's about to tip over.
So it's basically a huge warning sign.
It's a screaming red flag.
And if an operator sees that happening, what should they do?
Stop the lift immediately. Don't even think about it. Just stop.
And then?
Then you need to reassess the situation. Consult the manufacturer's guidelines or call in a qualified professional to help.
So basically, don't try to be a hero.
Not worth it. Crane safety is all about being cautious and knowing your limits.
Makes sense. Now, what about situations where you need to lift something, but you don't know the exact weight?
That's where experience and judgment come in, but you never just guess.
Right. So what are some of the strategies there?
Well, if you're dealing with a common material like steel, you can often estimate the weight based on its volume.
So like if you know how much steel is there, you can figure out the weight.
Yeah, there are formulas for that. And there are also load measuring devices that can be attached to the crane for a more precise reading.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
The bottom line is, the supervisor has to be sure that the load doesn't exceed the crane's capacity, even at its maximum radius.
So no cutting corners or hoping for the best.
Nope. Safety first, always.
Absolutely. Now, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about, rotation-resistant ropes.
Interesting topic.
They sound pretty self-explanatory, but why do they need special handling?
They're designed to resist twisting and spinning under heavy loads, which makes them perfect for certain types of lifts.
So they're like the heavy-duty ropes?
You could say that, but because of their special construction, they require extra care.
Like what kind of extra care?
For starters, every lift using these ropes needs a designated supervisor who knows how to handle them.
So someone who's really familiar with these ropes.
Exactly. And then a qualified person needs to inspect the rope before and after each lift, looking for any damage or wear.
So double-checking everything.
Yep. And during the lift itself, smooth and controlled movements are crucial.
Why is that?
Any sudden jerks or swings can put too much stress on the rope, and that could lead to failure.
Oh, I see. So it's not just about the weight. It's about how you handle it.
Precisely. And it's also important to keep detailed records of every time these ropes are used, especially if you're pushing their limits.
So you know how much wear and tear they've gone through.
Exactly. And when it's time to retire them.
Okay. So it's a whole process.
It's all about being proactive and preventing accidents before they happen.
That makes a lot of sense. So let's recap what we've learned today about crane load handling.
Sure.
First off, the load rating chart is not a suggestion, it's the law.
You got it.
Always think about the crane's configuration because that affects how much it can handle.
Right.
Keep an eye out for liftoff because that means danger.
Big danger.
Be super careful with loads where you don't know the exact weight.
Definitely.
And follow the specific procedures for rotation-resistant ropes.
All important stuff.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts?
I just say that safe crane operation is a mix of knowledge, skill, and a constant commitment to safety.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Rules and guidelines are important, but it really comes down to each individual making safety a priority.
Well said. And for everyone listening out there, remember, this deep dive is just the tip of the iceberg. Make sure to get official training and check the manufacturer's guidelines for the specific equipment you're working with.
Couldn't agree more.
Because the more you know, the safer you'll be.
And the safer everyone around you will be.
And hey, if you learned something new today, why not share it with your colleagues? Spread the knowledge and make the industry safer for everyone.
That's a great idea.
All right, that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for more. We'll see you next time.
See you then.